Hey guys, welcome to another video in the Frsky Series. And today's topic is repurposing trim. And this is new in version 1.5 of firmware for your radio or above. So make sure you're at least at 1.5 for this to work. And what repurposing trim is by using this trim, for example, or any trim that you want. In one mode, you use it for one thing. In another mode, you use it for another thing. And for the guys with an X20 radio that has minimal amount of trim, it just has the basic trims, and not like this that has extra trims, this is really useful. But for all of us, this is really useful for nose steering. And that's the demo I'm going to do for you today. So this trim, while you're in the air, can be set for your rudder. And then when you're on the ground, it can be set for your nose steering or your tail steering if you have that on a separate servo. All right, so let's get into setting this up, and it's actually very, very simple. What I'm going to do, or what I already did, was I created a new model, and a model is very basic. I'm going to go over here to my mix page, and you can see that it's just one channel of aileron, elevator, throttle, and rudder. I'm going to create two more channels. And one of them is your gear channel, so like your gear up and down channel, and the next one will be your nose steering or tail steering channel. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to come over here and hit this button over here to create a new mix, or I can hit the plus button over there. I'll go over here and hit add, free mix, last position. And I'm going to name it, let's name it gear. So this is going to be my gear channel. Okay, and this is very basic, nothing new here. Output will make this channel 5. So channel 5 will have my gear up and down as my gear, my retracts. And I'm going to control it, source, by this button over here. Okay, so that's gear up, and that's gear down. Okay, now if I'm actually going to do this, I'd add a curve so that this becomes a 2-position switch, but let's just pretend that that's what that is. And now the next thing I'm going to add is I'm going to add my nose steering. Oops. Yep, there it is. Last position. And let's go ahead and call this nose steer. Source will be rudder. Now, this will not have the rudder trim in it. It's just the source is rudder. And the reason why it's not going to have the rudder trim in it is because it's a free mix and not the rudder mix. If it's the rudder mix, it would include the trim. So I'm going to come over here, and the output for this channel will be channel 6. And yes, I do want to add the name. So now the name of that channel is now nose steer. All right, so now we're done. And while you're on your mix page, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you hit this button over here, it'll show you, you actually got to hold it down, that channel 6 is controlled by my rudder. But if you look over here, only the rudder channel, not the nose steer channel, gets the trim. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit on that. There it goes.
Trim
All right, so how do I add a trim on nose steer? So I just add another mix, but before I do that, I'm going to come over here to my variables, and I'm going to add a variable. I'm going to call this one nose trim. Oh, that's kind of funny. Okay, and then I'm going to come over here down to actions, and I'm going to add a new action. And this action will only happen when this switch, which is my gear switch that I set up before, is either in this position or this position. And the way I do that, since it's a 3-position switch, is I choose the up position over there, and then I go back into the menu, and I hit hold down, and I invert it. So now it's the exclamation point, that switch in the up position. So the exclamation point essentially means not. So when it's not in this position or not in the up position. So if you look over there, now it's highlighted, and then the down position is highlighted as well. Okay, and the action that I want to do is at the bottom is repurpose trim. And what trim do I want to repurpose? Rudder is correct. All right, so that's it. Now I'm going to go back to my mix, and I'm going to create a new mix over here. So let's add a mix. It's going to be a free mix. Last position. Let's call this one nose trim. My typing skills on soft keyboards is not that good. Okay, and the source that I want is going to be a var. And there's my var, it's already there. If I get out of this, there it is, nose trim. And then I add a channel, and the same channel as my nose steer, which is channel 6. There it goes. We are done. So let's go back to that page. So I'm on my mixers page. If I hold down here, it'll show me all the stuff, all my mixes. So here's my rudder and my nose steering. And of course you can reverse them if they're the wrong direction, no big deal. And then channel 6 also has my trim when this switch is in a down position. So let's actually do this in the up position. So look, my rudder over there is trimming. Now I put my gear down, and then with my gear down, my nose steering one is, and I can go back and they're separate. So let's, let me do this. So in the down position, I'm going to go the other direction all the way so we can see a big difference.
Trim center.
There it is. And then I can go back up to my rudder. So my gear is up now. So I'm in the air and I can still trim my rudder.
Max reached.
Go down and I can trim my nose steering. All right, that's it. This is a nice way to do trims. It's actually an awesome way to do trims. And it's just using a variable, and the variable will replace that trim when an action is hit. And the action is when my gear is in the down position, then this trim becomes my nose steering, and when a gear is in the up position, this trim becomes a rudder. Works very well, guys. If you have any questions or comments, you can comment in this video, or feel free to email me at all.rc.air@gmail.com. Please like this video, or subscribe if you can. It will really help the channel out, help me out. And thank you very much, and take care, guys. Bye.